It's certain protocol for pimping when you season. It really show them bras you pimping for a reason. It really show that frauds be sipping for no reason. Going against the grain lames, committing treason. One thing pimping never gonna do is knock hoes and not surf who she coming from if she got folks. It's certain shit you not gonna get about the bitch, but call pimping and you gonna learn some shit about the bitch. Let's go.
Bitch, you want all this pimpin' you can't afford. Perform like a punk, but wanna win his reward. Some suckers give you points, but bitch, you never scored. If you ain't paying pimpin', then bitch, you getting ignored.
Okay.
I'm so sick of these.
It's one thing that my pimpin' ass really enjoys, and that's calling pimpin' and serving the news and letting pimpin' know that I got the bitch. I don't know a pimp, a real true pimp, that doesn't enjoy serving a pimp the news. It's just a beautiful feeling, man. And you know what? I don't even mind getting served the news neither. I've only ever been served like truly a true traditional fundamental pimp serving. I've only ever been served and knocked one time where it was actually done right by the book, right? I've had times where cats try to dry serve me, and I'm gonna break that down. And I've had cats call and try to serve me about a bitch that wasn't really mine. We're gonna break that down. So, how it's supposed to go when a pimp knock a fresh hoe and that fresh hoe got some folks that she's coming from, pimping is supposed to get a respectable amount of money out the bitch first, right? Now, general rule of thumb, you should at least get $1,000. You should never, ever, 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 ever try to call and serve a pimp for less than $1,000. You got cats that do that shit. You got cats that'll call and try to serve a motherfucker about $200 or $300. Now, teach their own. Everybody got their different ways how they do shit, right? Now, some cats have what they call a courtesy call. And that's when, before a hoe gets the whole fee up, they'll call pimpin' and let pimpin' know, like, yeah, man, it's just a courtesy call, letting you know that, you know, the bitch is paying me, you know, she out of pocket with my pimpin', she paying me, and, you know, she getting the fee up as we speak. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've never courtesy called a pimp. I've served a pimp once the hoe has gotten the whole fee up, but like I say, to each their own. But that's what you call a courtesy call. But as far as a serving, you serve a pimp when you knock a pimp. Courtesy call, to my understanding, like I said, that's something that I don't subscribe to. But to my understanding, a courtesy call is when you let pimpin' know that you're in the process of knocking the bitch. Serving, on the other hand, is when you letting pimpin' know that you have already knocked the bitch. You have already got a respectable fee out the bitch, and you letting pimpin' know, hey man, you ain't gotta worry about the bitch. You ain't gotta call the morgue, you ain't gotta call the hospital, you ain't gotta call the jail. The bitch over here fucking with some pimpin', right? That's a serving. Now, a dry serving is, which is something that I let y'all know that I experienced, is when a pimp calls another pimp about a bitch and calls himself serving, as though he's knocked the bitch already. He's gotten a respectable fee out the bitch, but he hasn't really gotten a respectable fee out the bitch. You got cats that'll try to drive serve a pimp and ain't got $1 out the bitch. You got cats that'll try to drive serve a pimp and they've only gotten an insufficient amount of money out the bitch, which, like I said, in my book is less than $1,000. And then you got cats like this story that I'm gonna break down to y'all now. Some of y'all already know this story, but I had a bitch and she had been, you know, ping-ponging between a triangle of pimps, myself and 2 other pimps, both of whom I knew. We all knew each other, right? So the bitch, it was a certain protocol that she had with me that the other individuals in the pimp triangle didn't have, right? It was a requirement for her to go get a trap and come back with some money for me. With them dudes, they wasn't charging her. They'll just let her come back, fuck with them, fuck on her, and all that type of shit. But with me, it was, you gonna have to have a fee, and we going to the barber shop. Yeah, I'm cutting heads, you know what I mean? You gonna get that line up. You know, I'm a young pimp at the time, but it's crazy because, you know, it seemed like I was more seasoned than these other two cats that was older in the game and more seasoned in the game than I was. You know, and of course, in today's times in 2020, I would pimp much differently in a situation like that. But this is how I'm pimping at the time. Bitch, you're gonna have to come back with a fee, and you're gonna have to go to the barber shop and get lined up one good time. You dig? So we make sure everything is straight. So, but the bitch had left me and went to one of these other guys in the triangle, you know. And he called me, yeah, what's up, P? What's going on, Pimp? Yeah, man, you know, just call let you know, man, the bitch done came on back home, man. Okay, Pimp. Hey, man, if you don't mind, man, how much money that bitch give you? Oh, man, you know, it ain't nothing to talk to a pimp about. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was just letting you know, man, the bitch back over here with a pimpin'. Okay, Pimp, man, I appreciate the call. So, like I said, this bitch like to bounce around between the triangle. So, within 48 hours, the bitch ends up back over with me. She got the fee that she was supposed to get, went to the barber shop, lined her up real good, clean cut, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, yeah, bitch, you know, how much money did you give Pimpin' when you went over there? You know, remember that $75 that you sent me out with, the front money that you sent me out with? Yeah, bitch, well, I only had $5 left of it, and I gave it to him. So bitch, you gave this man $5? Yeah, that's what I gave him. $5. Alright, bitch. So that's what we call a dry serving. You know what I mean? When the bitch really didn't get no fee for it, man. And, you know, Pimpin' calling a pimp like he done knocked the bitch, but he actually didn't get no respectable amount of money, right? So that's a dry serving. And you also have these situations where Pimpin' will call and try to serve a pimp about a bitch that Pimpin' never even had, or, you know, didn't even really have at the time. You know what I mean? It was one time I had moved a bitch, and I didn't even have the bitch for an hour. You know what I mean? The bitch, she had flew into town. I picked the bitch up from the airport and took her straight to the track. I'm talking about straight from the airport, directly to the track. Set the bitch down. Now mind you, she hadn't gave me no money. The plan was for her to get some money as soon as she touched down. Bitch touched down, take her to the track. Never got a dime out the bitch. You know, bitch never even paid a pimp for the gas money that I burnt taking her from the airport to the track. But you know, it is what it is. So, the top of the morning, some dude called me. And he was like he was a weird type of individual because he wouldn't even give me his name, and he was like laughing the whole time. It was a real weird type of dude. But he called me, yeah, man, I got this bitch over here, man. Bitch says she fuck with you. Bitch ain't mine, P. You know what I mean? Bitch ain't gave me a dime, so she ain't none of mine. You dig? Oh man, but yeah, man, you know the bitch say she fuck with you, man. So I'm calling and serving you. Yeah, that's what the bitch said. But I'm telling you what Pimpin' is saying, and Pimpin' is saying that ain't my bitch. All right, P. Well, whatever, man. I'm just calling and serving you about this bitch. You're not calling and serving me about this bitch because you got to have a bitch to get served for a bitch, and I never had the bitch. All right, P. Well, I was just letting you know, man. I'm calling and serving you about the bitch. All right, P. You didn't serve me, but okay, Pimp. Deuces. So that's one of them cases where a pimp gets dry served or attempted to be served about a bitch that wasn't never really his, you know. And a lot of times bitches, when a pimp is reputable in the game and has a name for himself, a lot of times bitches will throw a pimp's name around, you know, to try to have some prestige about her hoeing. You know, to make her hoeing that much more valid, she'll throw a certain pimp's name out there, and she never really paid that pimp. She probably was just on his line talking like she was gonna give him a trap, you know what I mean, like she was gonna get it up for him, but the bitch never reached him anything, you know what I mean, but some IOUs, some well wishes, some, you know, hopefully I do this type shit. But you have them type of situations, man. When you knock a hoe, you should want to serve the pimpin'. You have a lot of cats in the game right now who, for some odd reason, they don't like serving the pimpin'. they'll get a bitch, they'll know that the bitch come from some pimping, but they don't want to call and serve the pimping. Now, I know a lot of y'all do this because you don't want to embarrass yourself because you didn't get a sufficient amount of money from this bitch before you ran off into the sunset with this bitch. But you have cats that do get a sufficient amount of money out the bitch, but yet and still they don't want to call and serve pimping. And you know, in the game, that's problematic. In the game, that leaves a lot of room for, you know, things to go bad and drama and, you know, misunderstandings and things like that. One main reason why a pimp should want to call and serve the pimping that this hoe is coming from is because, you know, pimping like to stay ahead of the bitch, for one. Pimping don't want to make room for this bitch to try to get over on this pimping. And then two, you know, pimping want to learn as much as he can about this bitch, especially if he can get some hoe facts from the ex-folks, you know what I mean? That's what we call it the hoe facts, you know, run me the hoe facts, pimp. So when we call the ex-folks, serving them about this bitch, pimping gonna let you know, yeah man, you know, I'ma tell you, P, this bitch, man, she if you allow her to be, man, she gonna be a lazy bitch, man. If you allow her to, the bitch gonna sit up in the room all day and do the internet. Now she might get you a little bit of money on the internet, you know what I mean? But where the bitch gonna get you the most money, P, is in that motherfucking casino, man. You send that bitch in that motherfucking casino and she gonna get it. She just prefers the internet over that, you know what I mean? Things like that. That's just one example of some shit that you could learn that'll give you an advantage on pimping on this bitch just from calling the pimping and getting the hoe facts. You dig? Yeah, P, just wanna let you know, man. You probably don't want to go to Cook County with the bitch, you know, because she got warrants over there, you know, felony warrants, but they non-extraditable. So as long as the bitch stay out of Illinois, man, you ain't gonna have no problems, P. But you know, you don't want to go over there with the bitch. Shit like that. And P, the bitch is she on motherfucking probation over there in Oakland, man. You don't want to take the bitch around there because she absconding right now, you know what I mean? As long as you stay away from there, or if you do want to go face them issues, you know what I mean? Just letting you know the bitch might have to sit down for a minute, you know what I mean? But it's up to you, pimp, how you want to handle it, man. I'm just letting you know, if the bitch go to Oakland and get caught up, you know what I mean? She gonna probably have to sit down for about 30 days or something like that, you know what I mean? But, you know, just putting you in the know, pimp. Things like that, you know? P, man. You know, this bitch mama is crazy, P. You know, it's cool, let the bitch go around her family and things like that, but just explain to the bitch that she don't need to let her family know that she got folks because, man, the cat that I knocked the bitch from, you know what I mean, he ended up getting in a jam because the bitch mama called the police on him, you know what I mean? So, you know, you don't want to involve yourself with the bitch family in no type of way, P, because it could potentially turn out to be ugly. But as long as you let the bitch know not to let the family know about you, and as long as you don't bring yourself around the family, P, you're gonna be all right. Things like that. This is shit that you gonna learn when you call and serve the pimping. You know what I mean? But I don't know what it is. A lot of cats, for some reason, they don't want to call and serve the pimping. I don't know if it's a selfish thing. I don't know if it's some square shit. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know. I don't understand it, but it's so much that you're gonna learn, and it's gonna give you such an advantage when you call and serve the pimping. And then on that same token, it's gonna put the pimping who's getting served mind at ease. You know, because I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you got a hoe that's down for you, and you know she making all these sacrifices on your behalf, and she's proven herself to be down and loyal and all these things, right? She's proven herself to be a solid bitch. You gonna have some type of love for that bitch. So when she go out at night and you don't hear from this bitch, and she go MIA, top of the morning come and you still ain't heard nothing from this bitch. You done checked the jails, the bitch ain't in jail. You done checked everywhere else, the bitch ain't to be heard from. You gonna be concerned. You gonna be wondering and worrying about what's going on with this bitch. And for the pimping on the knocking end to call and serve the pimping, man, just put pimping mind at ease. Pimping 9 times out of 10, if it's some real pimping, he gonna be smooth with the serving, you know? But just put pimping mind at ease, because you don't want to go through that type of shit, so you shouldn't want to put the next pimp through that shit. So call and serve pimping, put pimping's mind at ease, learn what you can about the bitch, get the whole facts, you dig? And then, like I say, it keeps pimping ahead of the bitch. It makes it where the bitch can't play so many games, because a lot of times bitches like to play games, you know? And if a bitch has to get a fee for you before she can fuck with you, and then you call and serve the last cat who she came from, it keeps the pressure on the bitch to not be able to play no games. Because let's say that you never call and serve pimping that she come from, she could be playing both sides of the fence, and neither one of y'all will never know because you haven't talked, right? Pimpin' don't even know that you got this bitch. The bitch might be playing with him still, bird feeding him and shit like that, and you don't even know that because you ain't called and served him, you know what I mean? And he don't even know that the bitch is fucking with you at the same time because you ain't called and served him. So it's so many benefits to the game. It's gonna be for the benefit of the pimpin' that's getting served, it's gonna be for the benefit of the pimpin' that's doing the serving, and it's gonna be for the benefit of the bitch, because it's gonna keep everything on the straight and narrow across the board, and it just makes for the greater good of the game. It's just a beautiful thing, man, when everybody is pimping by the book and the hoes is hoeing by the book. You dig? Let that marinate on your mind one time. Freezes it. You know you got to put some of this good old love juice in your body, right? Like so. I holla.
Now come and take a sip of this game. Pour it down your ear and let it drip to your brain so you can run it up, run it up. And we'll be coming up, really coming up. Take a sip of this game, let it saturate your brain. Taylor, make your homework so we can match it with my name. Then attach it to your frame, right? Now you game tight. Ready, set, ho. You gon' check her back the same night. Now you breaking tricks and handling thousands, while these bitches on the blade doing the mannequin challenge. Standing there looking stupid cause they has no gas.